Hello,
Hello.
we're back for
Yeah.
another week,
Yeah.
and a quite important week for all our Dutch viewers.
Yes.
By the time this comes
Shit,
out,
I still need to look into it.
god damn it. Yeah, I would recommend doing that because
Yeah,
we're
I
recording this on
know.
Tuesday, and tomorrow, Wednesday, there
Yeah.
are general elections. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be fun. And by the looks of it, like from the latest polls, it's gonna be like either center right or center left. Probably gonna be right. But yeah.
Well, so yeah, we should probably start with that. Did you see? So okay, so how do I open this? The Freedoms Party, right?
Yeah.
I'm I'm not a fan of them just because they like promise shit that they themselves also know isn't gonna happen just to get voters.
That combined with their with a healthy dose of racism.
But yeah, so uh but there are points with them that I'm like I could see why you'd vote for them. I don't agree voting for them because they get their voters like that, but there are like, they're I wouldn't necessarily think you stupid for doing it necessarily. Yeah, that changed today because I've discovered something. And by I've discovered something, I mean the news came out. Do you know
Yeah.
what happened?
I know there was some AI bullshit.
Yes. So two people of that party that are actually like in the government. They well first they like a couple weeks ago it already came out. They had a website with a bunch of AI generated images that depicted like Dutch people getting harassed by not Dutch people, which um you know that they like spread their like that they put on there as like real images, right? Like they were claiming, oh, this is look what happened, and when it didn't happen, it was AI. And now they made some images of Frans Timmermans, who is probably Wilder's most like biggest rival this
It's
year, right?
basically far right versus far left.
Yes, pretty much.
So you can they cannot be
And
more opposites of each other.
and because of the images they made, Timmermans now got death threats on the internet. Which is also really dumb because these people that did that, some of them did that with their like full name and picture and shit, so they could just be arrested for that. But uh the thing is though, Wilders did not have the balls to do anything about this. I fully believe that maybe he didn't know. Yeah, sure, maybe he didn't know they did that, right?
Yeah,
But
but
now it came out. And he didn't do anything about it because if he was actually a good leader of like a good political party, he would throw them out for spreading fake news.
yes, which is the
And he
obvious
didn't.
thing to do.
Yeah, and he didn't. So I kind of lost the last bit of respect that I had for that.
Uh, I can totally understand your standpoint in that.
Yeah, so to me, after this came out, I find it really stupid if people would vote for him now. Because, like, he's that now his party is literally spreading fake news.
And encouraging hate,
Yeah.
basically crime.
So yeah,
Yep.
I'm a little upset. I'm a little miffed that this shit just happens.
Yeah. Also, surprisingly, I haven't found anybody that just like gave out flyers, which they sometimes do in the Netherlands around election times. They just send out the politicians to towards train stations, any decently busy public area, with one goal: try and get
Mm-hmm.
some more voters. The annoying thing about that is you're just seeing them everywhere. Luckily, because of my job and the fact that I drive by car, I don't suffer from that. Just probably why I haven't seen any of them. Because, you know, a lot of them are not in the area I'm in.
Yeah.
Now, so speaking of train stuff, yesterday, a ambulance with luckily nobody inside, like no one got hurt, got hit by a train
Ooh.
at a railroad crossing. And that stopped traffic, like basically to and from Amsterdam from like one side, for the entire day. And I've seen a picture of the ambulance because as soon as it's known that no one was hurt, they just throw everything out. Because of course, it doesn't matter. Like if somebody got hurt, of course they are going to be like, "Oh, we're not going to show those images. We're going to keep it nice." You know, it's the respectful thing to do. But because nobody got hurt and all there was just physical damage to some stuff. I got to see a picture of how the ambulance was. Well, how it got off. Now let's just say there was more than a dent. It will not buff out. That thing is absolutely demolished, which is expected. You get hit a van, basically, because ambulances here aren't just like, well, they're custom made. They are like all emergency vehicles here, based off of a standard vehicle. It absolutely got destroyed. Because something the size of a van doesn't hold up to a train. Yeah, that is basically what happened yesterday with train stuff. I'm gonna check the. I should have probably prepared better for like news.
Oh my god.
Let's
Okay.
see.
So that odd morsel thing that I needed,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll pick it up along the way, right? I'll find it. Yeah, I didn't find any, so I go to the first floor of the entire thing, first chest I open.
Yeah. Of course. Where else would it be? Apparently, people are getting more annoyed with delivery companies and the drivers.
Oh, yeah, actually, I discovered something about that today.
What?
Last time we talked about DHL.
Yeah.
DHL. Did you know they sent you WhatsApp messages?
No, I did not.
I thought it was a scam at first, because it really felt like one of those phishing, like, WhatsApps that like try to scam you out of money.
Yeah.
But then I looked up the phone number on the internet because on the one hand, I was like, it could be legit, you know. So I looked up the phone number, and the first thing you get is just the official DHL website. It's like, yep, it's legit.
Huh. I mean, I would still be kind of careful. Because, you know.
Yeah.
And also, with packages, if you are not sure if you are not going to be home, I would just say get it delivered at a delivery, like a service point,
Mm-hmm.
because those are often, well, it's more often than not just a store which just accepts packages and just distributes them again. And like there are a couple along my route if I drive home, so I can just pick them up on the way and have my package at the same time as I would get it if I were to drive home normally and have it delivered at home, but without the risk of getting a message, oops, we missed you, you weren't home. It is, I think, slightly like inconvenient for others as well if you basically give them the task of waiting for your package. So in my opinion, the nice thing to do when you order something is just get it to deliver to a service point, especially if you have one en route. It is easier for the delivery driver because they can just drop one of those carts off, stacked to the brim with packages, and continue on. Well, in the meantime, you get to pick it up and no hassle, just package. So we should order less stuff anyway. Like,
So, by the way, Zhu,
yes,
let me ask you a question real quick.
yes,
Do we have music?
yes, we do.
Okay.
I have it turned on. Let me actually turn the audio of my game down a bunch.
Also, I've befriended the chubby kid. I'm doing well now.
Nice.
Which means I can save the game and now concentrate on the on the podcast.
On the actual content of the podcast.
Yes.
I was looking at the news, and Jamaica is suffering from a hurricane with quite a lot of winds, up to almost 300 kilometers per hour. And no, I will not be converting them to imperial. Oh yeah. We all know Wikipedia, right?
Yeah.
The incredible piece of incredible website, which, if you can, please support them.
Wait. What?
Like, if you can, and I'm not saying this is an advertisement, but just support Wikipedia because Elon Musk launched Grokipedia, which is
What?
Yep. Which is just an alternative for Wikipedia, but with probably Grok AI involved with it as well.
Wow.
Because Elon Musk thinks Wikipedia is woke.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the moon. Okay, good.
Eh. Oh, Elon Musk is saying he wants to go for the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Wait, on Grokpedia, the articles are going to basically be based on Wikipedia articles.
Right.
You might as well go to Wikipedia
So
then.
why don't I just go to Wikipedia?
You know, we're here. It's if you've been to school in the Netherlands, they often teach you to look for the source. Right? Is there a source there? Is it somewhat reliable? So if you go to the source, then you will eventually go from Grokpedia to Wikipedia to wherever it was sourced from Wikipedia. So it's just an extra step.
Right. So, to nobody's surprise, Elon Musk idea don't work.
Well, Grok AI isn't the best AI, you know, on Twitter.
Didn't I still need to check it out, but didn't Neurosama have like beef with that AI at some point on Twitter?
I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, but it's kind of funny to think about that the AI content creator
Like at this
Twitter
point,
beef
AI
with
will
the
just
Twitter
end
AI.
itself.
Yeah.
Like because one AI will go against the other AI, which will go against another AI.
Wasn't it? Didn't an AI recently like lie to stay activated?
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that AI being shoved into everything just makes everyone dumb.
Yeah.
Like, people, instead of thinking for themselves, will just be like, oh well, just ask ChatGPT. But that's just gonna result in bad. Like, I've seen a couple of things about AI within like law enforcement and everything, like lawyers and everything.
No.
Like some lawyers actually use AI,
Hmm.
and that's the dumbest thing you can do as a lawyer.
Wait, but AI, most AI, I'm assuming all of them, literally tell you that it can't give you legal advice.
Yep. But if a lawyer uses it, then a lawyer can basically base that off of like
I guess it
trying
can
to.
help them find things quicker.
But the thing with AI is, right, it basically has to have the outcome already in there.
Yeah. Well, but I assume like they could just use it to be like, I know this is written somewhere in the law, but I don't know exactly where.
Yeah,
Right?
but
That they could just ask the AI where they can find it and then check it out there.
AI sometimes also is just straight up wrong.
No, but
Like,
that's why I say like it can tell you maybe where to find it, and then you go there.
yeah, but did you know books already have a thing for that?
Yeah, I know.
Usually, towards the either at the start or at the end of the book, there's a long list of things, and it says where it is, and you just go to that chapter, go to that paragraph, and then read. Like, I'm basically feeling like a boomer, being like, everybody uses too much technology these days. Like, I'm only 20. Like, sure, AI can be useful in some things, but this is not it. Not by a long shot. At this point, if everybody just asks ChatGPT, then you're gonna get, because I've seen some posts where they basically asked AI something, and then they basically say, yeah, that's correct, only to then later say that no, it's incorrect. But because, like, I've had it with AI overview with Google, which
Yeah.
sucks, by the way, and 90% of the time is just wrong.
It costs 17 FP fingerprints.
Yeah, but like you ask it potentially a legal question. Like recently, I looked up on Google if you were allowed to install Christmas lights inside of your car for no apparent reason whatsoever. And
Sure.
the AI overview said, like, yes, it was legal, and in this case, from what I've looked, like, I just started clicking links because that's just what you do when you're looking stuff up. Just like, oh well, this site looks reliable enough, and I just look at another 4, and then if all of them say the same thing, then yes. So then I figured out that it is legal to put lights inside of your car as long as they aren't too bright. Or probably the same with like color. Like you're not allowed to have like red and blue flashing lights for pretty obvious law enforcement reasons. Like otherwise they could see you as a police car or something and get out of your way, cause a dangerous situation, you know, all that stuff. So then I decided I can pretty easily get away with 4 meter worth of Christmas lights on like 2 AA batteries. Because 2 AA batteries isn't a lot of power. So 4 meters worth of Christmas lights that will be inside of my car. So Jim, when the shirts finally arrive, we might arrive very festive. With Christmas lights all up in the car.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Actually, about that whole thing
Yeah,
with the shirts.
yeah,
So that's taking long.
yes.
So that package that I was WhatsApped about today, because that's a thing now. That is definitely my sword because they WhatsApp me because it's like you gotta pay like what do you call that? Like a tax for like for it crossing the border.
I would still be very careful about that though.
No, I know it's very. I can know this is legit.
If you looked it up, if they do
Yes.
it, all right.
Yes. I just mentioned. I looked up the number. The first thing you get is their own website.
Yeah, but did
I
you
went
also
into the website. Yes. And also, yes, there were other people on the internet confirming that it's a thing.
All right, then it's trustworthy.
But, yeah, you read also, and also there was a link to like the follow the package kind of thing. I mean, like the. So yes, it worked. But why is that here already and the shirts are not?
Yeah, both come from the States, right?
And why did the store again? Well, this is a different store, but you know, the other sword store also didn't do this. Send me an email that it was shipped.
Yeah. Also, I have
actually because this time it's the other way around because they did say that they shipped it, but then the Netherlands never said that it had arrived. And now And now the postal company is like, it's arrived. And I was like, what? How?
Yes. Also, might it be an idea to ask you for the a link to the tracking of the shirts, so that
Why?
we
He'll
can
send when there's updates.
so that instead of having to ask you about it 24/7, we can just look it up ourselves.
You're on. Who wants the track and trace link for the shirts? I don't know why.
Well, so we don't have to keep asking for the shirts or when they'll arrive. And so I have something to do while I'm at my job, and when I'm bored. I can just look up the track and trace for the shirts.
I don't know why. He's impatient.
Yes. I've ordered multiple... I've made an AliExpress order of multiple things, and they've all arrived before the shirts arrived.
Yeah, well.
Which I'm probably gonna do this weekend. I'm probably gonna install the necessary stuff. Which means that I still have to get my 3D printer ready and printing, so I can have the covers for the lights, because then I have fridge lighting, or at least the same setup a fridge has, in the closet in my room, so that when I open up the door, the lights turn on. And I can see my clothes and the colors that they are, because that is generally the problem. That I can't really see the color of my clothes because it's completely dark. But I'm gonna solve that with, well, like 10 bucks worth of parts, but then another like 30 in tools, because I don't have a soldering iron, and I want to fix that. And I fixed that by buying one. The pros of having a job: you have money. Of course, you have to be careful not to spend everything at once. All that stuff, you know.
Well, we can spend it all at once on a house, maybe.
If the finance stuff.
With C.
Yeah. My mom did make a good point though. Contract stuff wise. Like who's gonna own it, who's like all that stuff. But I guess that will be figured out once we actually, you know, get to the point where we know that it's an actual possibility, before we make a lot of plans and then realize that we aren't able to do it.
Yeah.
Some wisdom from me. You can make a really good plan, but you have to make sure that it's possible in the first place.
Yes.
Although the neat part is there will be space for my car.
Yes.
But is there going to be enough space for like multiple cars?
I mean, if we park one like on the side of the road.
Because I'm gonna potentially have 2 cars. With one being a car that I own right now, which will be the Twingo, and one private lease car from the company. So that's gonna be a potential or potentially messy thing.
But we'll see about all that.
Because then technically, which sounds weird to say as a 20-year-old, if I work for a year at the company I'm currently at,
Yeah.
which seems likely, then I'm gonna have two, technically 3 cars. Like on paper, it will say it will be 2, but in reality, it will probably be 3. Like the 2 I already mentioned, and an old Volkswagen as well. So that. So it would sound weird to be 21 years old and have 3 cars. For one of them, I barely have to pay anything.
Bush.
Yes.
Bush.
Yes.
If we're looking to get a house,
Yes.
maybe don't start fucking spending money on a 3rd car you don't need.
Well, one car I already have and I currently drive, so that's a car I definitely need. The old Volkswagen is a project car, so I'm already, that is with it, I've budgeted my salary already, so that's involved as well. So don't worry about that. And a potential 3rd car will be a company car because cheaper. But depending on the finances, the Twingo might be cheaper to keep and drive separately for private kilometers as opposed to driving with a company car and paying more for that. Also, because I already have insurance, because in the Netherlands, car insurance is necessary by law, so it's illegal to drive uninsured.
Which is fair enough.
Because I already have that, I'm already building up my years. The years where I didn't run any damages at all. Because that's what's something that will make insurance cheaper over the years. Because insurance company will be like, yep, like at the start, like you're young, you have no you haven't had any previous insurances yet. You just got your license. They don't know what kind of driver you're gonna be. Insurance that means that insurance company will already see you as mid to high risk. They don't know if you're going to either have no accidents in like tens of years, or if you're going to rack up 10 accidents within a year.
To be fair, you don't know that either.
Exactly. So the insurance company will make it slightly more expensive. However, if you make no claim,
yeah, I know,
then you will
can be financially better.
Get like damage-free gears, and they will make your insurance cheaper. But as soon as you do one single claim, you'll lose 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
They're weirdly strict about that. Like one wrong move and you're basically losing a lot of progress. That is, if you make a claim. If you're smart enough and the damage is small enough, you might be able to get away with on the spot saying, alright, I'm gonna give you money to fix the problem. If it's gonna be more, just call me on this number or text me on this number and we'll fix the finances that way. So the insurance company doesn't see any claims, any damages at all.
Yeah.
That is, let's say you gently bumped into someone and there are some slight scratches on, like, let's say the rear bumper. Like, that would be a great alternative to getting the insurance company involved, it taking a lot of time, it costing a lot of money, you losing your years and having to pay more. But that would be that way. Although, if my car gets damaged in any way, shape, or form, like any body work, it might actually be cheaper to buy another Twingo at that point. Because for one, they are incredibly cheap if you go and look for them. And second of all, they're cheap to run. And you can still find a bunch of them. Like, it's not like the cars are going extinct, it's just, well, they kind of are. Like, there are no new ones being made of that. Like, they've only made them from 1992 to 2007. So, you know, it's not like new. Like, sure, they can bring out a new model, but it won't use the old parts. But for now, there's still enough driving around. What's also nice is that my car is from one of the last couple of months of production, so all the little problems that they had when they started production have been solved. Wait, was it this? Oh yeah. Over this weekend I replaced my window mechanism on the passenger side, which was surprisingly difficult and easy at the same time. Which sounds weird. Like, first of all, they decided to put some sort of silicone stuff behind to basically glue the door card to the door. So when I undid all the screws, I was like, alright, let's pop it off and get going. I really am tired. But with that, it was like, yeah, no, you have to basically peel it off. And once it was off, I found that my speakers are like hardwired to the car. The speakers that are installed into the door card. So I couldn't put the door card somewhere else. I had to stay attached to the door. Fun. And once that was finally done, I had to pull the window down a little bit. You know, that still worked. It was just going up that I had difficulties with. But once it was finally up, or down a little bit, and all set, I pried out a couple of rollers, pulled the mechanism out, got the new mechanism in the correct position, which it wasn't. Fun. And once that was solved, then I was finally able to get that installed. Oh, I set the wrong switch. Oh well. Once I was finally able to get the new mechanism in, I had to connect everything up. And once everything was connected, I could finally check if it worked. It worked, and I was done replacing the mechanism. And also I replaced the number plate mountings with the ones that have custom text on them. Because it's a cheap and easy car modification which allows for pretty good customization without devaluing your car. Because modifying your car is one of the worst things you can do if you ever want to sell it again. Because nobody wants to buy a modified car. Everybody wants to buy a clean slate if they want to modify the car themselves. So yeah. Having customized number plates on there is basically a one of the customized number plate house mounting, which is just a click system where you screw the mounting in place and then just click it in. Like you just push the number plate or slide the number plate in and it's mounted, it's secure. Nobody's gonna mess with it. So yeah, although it did hurt my fingers a lot because there's one connector which I absolutely despise for numerous reasons. Main one being you have to push in 2 tabs and then pull on it. But it's at an awkward angle. And one of the tabs is quite close to one of the plates, which means you can't get your finger behind it, like you can properly get your finger behind it to really push it in. Why did I have to buy a French car? Apart from the fact that it looks incredible. You can say a lot of things, but a Twingo is just a cute car. It is small, yet incredibly spacious. And that allows for some real good, well, just characteristic. It has, look, that's something I recently did as well on Sunday. I went by train the entire day with a friend, and as soon as we got back, like, we drove the car back home. But we had to wait a little bit in the car because it was raining quite heavily. And because I have a Twingo, you can just pull a lever and your entire car just folds down. Or like your entire front, like the top of your front your front seats just fold all the way down. You can lay flat on your back. If you do slightly more, like remove the headrest, move the seat forward.
So
pull the rear seat back. You have a bed.
So when are we building a transformer?
My car already kind of is. Like, screw buying an entire camper van to do some camping. You just buy a Twingo and drive. So Jim, when are we going on a road trip?
When the shirts are here.
Well, technically, yes.
We're going on a trip in our favorite
Twingo. I may or may not have a thing for just weird and quirky cars because it is weird. It's like you have.
Dude, if we sing that shit, we're even more deserving of that I'm an adult shirt.
Jim. We're 20-year-olds who still fight with poo noodles.
You know, I'd forgotten about that. I would also like to point out that was mostly you two.
Yeah, because you're just laying in bed.
I was reading.
Getting probed by a poo noodle.
I was reading something more mature than most other things you can read.
And you just got a poo noodle shoved up your ass.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, I can't deny that. Speaking of mature, It's probably for the better. You were actually like you were recording right now
Why?
because well, I started the drawing today, but I don't think I'd be able to put that on YouTube. At least not currently.
Does it involve certain body
It
parts being visible?
it involves human anatomy, and I haven't gotten to the clothes yet.
Of the female or the male variety?
Oh, the male variety would be very easy to get away with.
Ah, so it's of the so it's human anatomy of the female variety.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine.
So basically, in simple terms, titties.
Including them, yes.
The solution to a lot of problems.
What?
Am I wrong in that? Aren't
I
titties
don't
the
know.
solution to a lot of problems?
How would they solve problems?
Well, they're pretty good at solving conflicts.
Apparently, boobies keep that one bird alive.
Yeah. Boobies are birds as well.
For the people that don't know what we're talking about, there's a bird species, and I already knew about their existence, but they're like little birds, and they feed themselves by ripping out feathers of larger birds and drinking the blood.
They're also
And I knew that existed, but we recently discovered that those bigger birds are called boobies.
They're also blue-footed boobies.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I can put up an image on screen. These are blue-footed boobies.
I know, from the Galapagos. Wait, their feet are like far brighter than I thought, actually.
Their feet
I
are
thought
blue.
I thought it was like a darker blue.
No, it's blue.
like almost neon. It's like almost neon.
But yes, the blue-footed booby. An animal which for sure made all the researchers giggle when they decided to name it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why aren't some animals named the way that they are?
I don't know.
Did you see about that one spider literally just called the big boy? It's the biggest spider in the world. It's the biggest spider in the world, and it's called the big boy.
The only big boy I know is a steam locomotive.
Actually, no. I don't know. It's not actually the biggest spider in the world, but it's like the biggest spider of that family of spiders, basically.
Huh. Yeah, so the only
big boy.
The only big boy I know is a steam locomotive. The biggest one.
Well, now you know there's also a spider. It's about I think 10 centimeters.
I have a tape measure here. 10 centimeters.
I think between 5 and 10. Like if you count their legs, right?
That's still a decently sized spider, but I've seen bigger.
Yeah, you have that one with a 30 centimeter.
Well,
but they're not dangerous to humans apparently. These are.
Well, the 30 centimeter, like I've seen, I think a spider being like 15 centimeters or potentially like 20 centimeters big. It was like one of those house spiders.
Yeah, the Australian one.
Yeah, but like I've had one in like a not an Australian spider, but like one of those house spiders in my room. It looked like, luckily it wasn't very close to me because I would have freaked out, as everybody would.
Wait, do we have spiders that big in the Netherlands naturally? I don't think so.
Well, not at 30 centimeters, but it was probably around the 10 to 20 centimeter range.
We have that in the Netherlands?
Apparently we do. Because because it was a big one.
Actually, We probably do, because it would not be surprising if one at some point like escaped somewhere or just like got here on like a boat, like a like a with the cargo,
Yeah, this through a cargo ship
and then
or
just had babies, and now they're here.
yeah, like just got in some cargo because spiders can often
Yeah.
squeeze themselves into weird places.
Yeah.
Like I've had it when emptying my dad's boat when I still used to do that. I was emptying the boat and there were like two spiders there. One in the boat, one on the the side, like on land. And one in the boat like eventually crawled underneath my shoe, which I had slightly up in case it ran underneath to drop my foot. And in this
Yeah.
scenario, I dropped my foot because it was
Oh.
underneath. But it was one of the spiders who exclusively look for tight spaces.
Yeah. But that's kind of the thing, right? Like here in the Netherlands, you tend to think we don't really have anything dangerous here other than arguably the tick because it can like spread Lyme.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty sure even like the Black Widow, which is like one of the deadliest spiders in the world, I think lives in parts of France. So like it's only a matter of time, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, there is always one thing you can sort of keep in mind when encountering those, which you have to remember instead of just freaking out. Is is as long as you don't harm or bother them, they
Well,
won't harm or bother you.
but
In
yeah,
many
but
cases, at least.
if they sit in your shoe and you don't know and you put on your shoe.
Yeah, then it's a problem. Because especially if a spider that, because when I was emptying the boat, the spider on the on land eventually got splashed by water because it was kind of low. It's kind of like a brick side. And I was emptying the water against that, and eventually the boat raised enough to splash against the spider. So the spider started running. You know, makes sense. You get splashed with water. Of course, you're gonna get disgusted and run. But that, like, I was kind of like, oh, all right, you're running. All right, fine, as long as you run away. And while it was like, it ran to another crack. That's all it did. Like, it was just the spiders who just really want to be inside of cracks. So keep them away from your ass. Although if a spider specifically wants to go to your ass and makes a cobweb there, they should probably think about changing your hygiene up a little bit. Your ass should have cobwebs in between the cheeks. Yeah. Also, spiders are rarely alone, and I've already had one in my car. It was dumb.
Honestly, I don't understand like being afraid of spiders, except for like the actual deadly ones, right? Like,
It's it's mainly the movement.
yeah, but I never understood that because I don't think they're that creepy. I mean, I can understand kind of being more afraid of the bigger ones, even though the bigger ones usually aren't actually dangerous to humans, with like two exceptions. One
Yeah,
of
but
which lives in Australia, because obviously, and the other one in like the rainforest, so like you'll never encounter that.
yeah. But I mean, the like a lot of the spiders that can be dangerous are often still pretty tame, apart from when you corner them, anger them, or just in general sort of ask for it.
Yeah.
It's the same with any animal, basically. If you're going to bother them, and they already indicate to you that they don't want to be bothered, and you keep bothering them,
Yeah.
like then it's deserved.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Like at that point, you should have seen it coming. You've had your warnings. Like the only thing I could see animals actually being like harmful without reason would be a couple of species of wasp.
Even those are usually not without reason.
Like you do have a couple of them who are quite territorial. You also have a couple of that go into the ground.
Yeah. You know of that one thing? What is that thing called?
And those are sort of those are dangerous because you will not know they are there. You step on their hive unknowingly, and all of a sudden they attack you. So to make their house basically incredibly hidden from everyone, and as soon as somebody attacks it, then they're gonna just be incredibly hostile towards you because you attack them.
Actually, I forget what it's called. Hold on, I'm trying to find it now.
I'm looking at an article. I'm looking at an article about vaccines in the United States because the person Trump elected to basically keep track of all the health and medicine related stuff, RFK Jr.
I can't find it.
Well, RFK Jr. is sort of anti-vax, so he basically like as soon as he started, he threw out all the experts who were, you know, in favor of vaccines, replaced them with people who are against vaccines. So yeah, it wouldn't be surprised if the plague suddenly started roaring through the United States again.
Yeah, well.
Wouldn't surprise me a single bit. I feel like it'd more be expected because you're basically asking for it. Because,
well, that's their problem.
what a vaccine eventually boils down to, especially if it's for a specific disease, is here's a dead or very weak version of the disease. So your body can, or at least a safe version, which won't kill you. Here, have that your body will find a way to fight it, so that when you actually get the disease, like for real, your body will remember that, hey, we've had this one before, we fought it this way. And then your body will fight it the same way and make you better again, quicker, with less suffering. Or it might actually prevent it entirely, because instead of seeing it as a real danger, or as like something that isn't really that dangerous, it will immediately recognize it for what it is, kill it, and prevent, stuff like that. But for some reason, people think that, of course, there are some chemicals involved because everything is made out of chemicals. If you look at it from a scientific standpoint. Like, if you look at what kind of chemicals are in a... Like, you have those people who are very against chemicals in anything, like food or other stuff like that. Yeah, don't show them what kind of chemicals are in a banana, because they will absolutely flip. Well, that technically you could show them that all the foods that they've been eating still involve chemicals, and either they'll stop eating entirely, or they realize that what they've been doing is stupid, change their mind, which won't happen because people don't change their mind generally, and just, yeah. Because having a decently healthy diet is not that difficult. You can always start at not going for fast food every single chance you get. But actually going for the healthier option, like a salad. Because salads are healthy. Of course, it all depends on the ingredients, what you do and don't need. But that shouldn't really... Like, if you do a little bit of research and just think... Like, what would be healthier? Making a salad or eating a McDonald's hamburger? Yeah, sure, you can always have a little bit of a snack. But as long as you get the vitamins you need, because that basically is the most important part. Like, are you getting all your necessary vitamins? And are you moving enough? Like, in theory, you basically want to have a perfect calorie amount for, like, eating and burning. So you ate the same amount of calories as you've burned. That's a theory that would be perfect, but that doesn't happen. There's always a slight calorie deficit, or just too many calories. There's going to be something like that, which is why weight often, transfers a bit. Like, you don't just weigh one weight every single time. There are changes in your weight, which you do kind of need to take into account, but hey, it's starting to become the time of the year where weight is gonna creep up again due to holidays and other stuff. Christmas is even though it's the end of October, Christmas is around the corner. November is starting pretty soon. Pretty soon you're gonna hear all the Christmas songs again. You're gonna get All I Want for Christmas thrown at you a bajillion times. It's Christmas songs. Alright, what kind of news do we have again? Well, let's see. Oh yeah, the United States military has been added. with the Navy, where I think a helicopter and a fighter jet have crashed into the, I think either crashed into each other or crashed into the water. Which, I mean, expensive. But Jim, do you have any other news?
Looking.
And also,
Doesn't really seem like it though.
I finally did something that I should have done weeks before.
What?
Set the clock in my car to the correct time. It was like hours upon hours off. Like when I went to drive home, it would be midnight. At 4 in the afternoon. That's how scuffed my clock time actually was. I want to emphasize, it was basically 8 hours off. And that's just the hours, that's not even the minutes. So once you realize that, things become a lot worse. But hey, it's fixed now. It turns out it was just a couple of easy buttons. So I had nothing to worry about at all. But hey, that I wasn't using it. I'm using the clock more now that it's fixed. But when it wasn't fixed yet, all I was doing is just using the clock for like using, because I have a clock, a odometer, and a trip computer. I use the trip computer all the time because then I can easily see how much more distance can I travel on this fuel tank. I can do around 600 kilometers. Like over 600 kilometers. I usually run 16 kilometers per 1 liter of fuel, which isn't bad. Like, it is quite fuel efficient.
Hmm.
But that's because, I wanted to buy and run a cheap car because it saves money. Like, even if I were to have a lot of money, I would probably still drive a cheap car because I don't see the use in, driving something like a Range Rover. Like my dad drives, but now wants to sell. Like, I don't see the use for it. With it, like, I guess it has some use in the sense that it has a lot more storage space than my car has. But it's a trade-off. Because instead of, either renting a van and we have to move a lot of stuff, you pay a lot more per month. It guzzles fuel. And overall, like, yes, it's more comfortable. But people automatically assume you're a dick. Or at least that's what I do when I see a Range Rover. Or a BMW. I automatically assume, oh, that driver doesn't know how to drive. Like, that's something you learn very quickly when you start driving. That either Range Rovers or big SUVs in general, or pickup trucks, Teslas are annoying as well. Basically just expensive cars. Like, those are the types of people that are more often than not complete assholes. And that means that they have to compensate for their lack of size. Which is why they often drive big cars. Like, I often call those big pickup trucks because you do see a couple of those here in the Netherlands. I call them compensators because you have to be compensating for something with such a big oversized piece of machinery, which, as it wastes fuel, it wastes resources. Like, one tire for a Range Rover is already 800 euros. In the meantime, I could probably get like 2 sets of tires for my Twingo. It is that cheap. And also, save older cars. Like, please do that. Like, instead of buying new immediately, especially for a first car, your first car should always just be a beater. Because it can teach you how to work on cars, or at least what can go wrong with them. And if you fix itself, then it teaches you how to work on cars. And also, you're learning how to. You're still, like, sure, you've got your driver's license, which means you can drive on the. You can operate a car. But you can't drive yet. You still have to learn how to drive. And that's when the trouble starts. Because if you buy like, you're seeing that, especially in the United States, with Mustangs and BMWs, where inexperienced people think that they can handle all the power and buy one or finance one, which would be way worse because, congratulations, you're paying a lot more money. Then then they try to utilize that power incorrectly because, they don't have experience yet. They don't know what it feels like to have a car slip away from you and how to catch it. And then they end up as another news story about how a teenager tragically passed away in a car crash. Like, that's just reckless driving. But yeah.
So, I mean, I'm hoping next week. How long does it usually take for election, like for the votes to be counted?
A couple of days, I think.
So hopefully next week we have results.
Yes.
If not next week, it better be the week after. But I assume it should be next week.
We're probably gonna get the results this week already.
Yeah, I think usually it's like 3 days or something.
So potentially by the time this podcast airs, we already have the results.
Yeah, if so, maybe we'll put them in the comments or something.
Like, just a link to the results so people can look for themselves.
I don't think we should post. Well, I guess we could post a link.
Of course, yeah. Like, that would be... But I feel it's either going to be center left or center right.
Yeah. Well, I did hear that in the what's it called?
Like the latest polls.
Yes. That none of the parties are actually seeming like they're gonna be super big.
Yeah, well, that's actually a decent thing because that means that instead of
Yeah,
one
no,
big party
I
having
am
to get
actually
like
pretty happy about that. Yeah.
5 small ones involved, you're gonna get like 2 to 3 parties.
Well, we had 4 big ones last time.
Yeah, but right now we're gonna get like probably 3 or 4 big
But
ones.
one of those basically completely collapsed and nobody cares about it anymore.
One party basically disappeared.
One of them, a lot of people are feeling like, well, we've tried them once now. They've had their chance because they fucked it up.
Oh yeah, like they're gonna be definitely smaller, but
The the one that was like the farmers party is very interesting because like they were really big all of a sudden,
yeah,
and I
because
don't think they
farmers.
even prepared for that. Like I don't think they expected to suddenly become this big.
Yeah.
And now it turns out that that party also doesn't really work.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like
I
the
guess we'll
farmers
see.
party is weird.
I guess we'll see.
Yes.
And so maybe we should end it here so we can actually like look into some of these parties to see who we're
Well,
gonna
if
vote for.
I'm all out of stuff, so if you don't have anything anymore, then that leaves one thing left to
No,
say.
I got nothing. I don't think.
We're not experts.
But we were here.